Hi, welcome to Gene Rants. I'm Gene, and there are actually I do a vlog 5 days a week, and there are subjects that are pleasant and subjects that are unpleasant that I have to cover because it's the news of the day, even though I would rather talk about something else. But today I get to do a subject that I like. This is one of my favorite vlogs, by the way, kind of vlogs, and it's when I debunk a liberal media, which is most of the media, at least that you see, CNN, ABC, NBC, whatever. The media narrative. When I get to debunk a media narrative with facts, that is, well, it's one of my more pleasant tasks, and that's what I get and that's what I get to do today. Today, I'm going to debunk a narrative having to do with the big, beautiful bill, which actually should be, I guess, since it was signed into law, big beautiful law, but I'll go with big beautiful bill because that's whatever people are still calling it, even though they shouldn't. It's big beautiful law. Anyhow, the narrative being put out is that the American people overwhelmingly oppose the big beautiful bill, and lots of speculation on CNN and MSNBC. How will this hurt the Republicans in the midterm elections? And well, I have to as I often do, I have to throw in a little aside because it is usually the party in power will, in the midterm election, at least the first midterm election, lose seats in the House and the Senate. Now, I am hopeful that that won't happen in the Senate. I could be wrong, though, and maybe they'll even gain a seat or two. But the House of Representatives, I think there's only a two-seat majority right now. It's very possible for the House to lose some seats because that traditionally is what happens. But can you imagine? I mean, you can see how crazy. Well, we'll just say distraught, emotional they are over Trump today. Can you imagine what would happen if the Republicans in the midterm election keep the Senate and the House, as happened to George Bush, by the way, in one of I forget it was the second term or the first term, but George W. Bush, he actually gained seats in the House. So can you imagine what the Democrats, how they'll behave, what's going to happen if the Republicans actually gain seats? So if you think that might happen, get those popcorn orders in early, which I have to throw this into another aside. I said, get those popcorn orders in early because did you know in Japan, even though they're not Japanese, are not Christians, I mean, there might be a scattered few, are not Christians, they celebrate Christmas, and they celebrate Christmas with, get this, Kentucky Fried Chicken, something they picked up from the GIs who would want to celebrate Christmas in Japan with turkey, but try to find a turkey in Japan. So unless you're talking about their economy, that's a real turkey right now. But I'm talking about the kind you can eat. And so they would order chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So that is a big thing. They Japanese, they have fried chicken on for Christmas. And the reason I bring that up is they get their, just as I just said with the popcorn, get those popcorn orders in early. They get those fried chicken orders in early, weeks or even months ahead of time, to make sure they'll get their fried chicken on Christmas. So there you go, a little cultural info about Japan. But getting back to busting, myth busting, I guess, break or narrative busting, Democratic and liberal media narratives. There's this narrative, as I said, that the public overwhelmingly opposes the big beautiful bill. Well, I have a poll for you. This is from Harris. It's a Harris poll. 17 out of 21 policy proposals in the One Big Beautiful Bill have majority support among Americans who have heard of the bill, according to a new Harvard CAPS Harris poll. And there it is, you're looking at it. Let me just go in a little bit closer here. As you can see, a majority of Americans approve of 17 out of the 21 bills. That is 80%. I hope you can see it on your screen. I guess you're out of luck if you're watching this on a cell phone. Oh, and I'm going to link to the article, and then you can zoom in and get a closer look. But 12 of these items, more than 50% support. One of them is exactly, precisely 50% support, and still much more than the number of people who oppose it. And you go right down the line, then you have a few 49%, 48%, 47%. You have to go all the way down to the very last one to find one that has, it looks like 32%, has fewer people favorable than unfavorable, where most people are unfavorable. It's 52%. And that's for removing removing restrictions or taxes on silencers. What is this here? Remove tax and registration requirements for firearm silencers. That's the only thing. And I would say that that's also could be because of, a little aside here again, because of misstating the issue, because there's no such thing as a silencer. They are not silencers. They are noise suppressors. They are suppressors. That's what they properly are. And they do not make the gun silent. They just reduce the noise a little bit, just like when you do shoot, you should be wearing headphones, just like you see the people directing airplane traffic on the at airports, and they have headphones on. All it does is reduce the noise to make a less threat to your hearing, and not it doesn't make it's not like the spy movies where they have this gun with this little tiny silencer on it that makes the gun silent. That doesn't happen in real life, at least not the ones that you buy in the store, the civilian ones. So there you go. I mean, there may be a sniper rifle in the military that has a suppressor that's as big as an automobile muffler almost, and yeah, that might silence it. But also the sniper's probably a mile away from whatever you're shooting at. So anyways, so those of you who are interested in trivia, it's far enough away that the bullet gets to you faster than it breaks. The reason you hear a crack when a gun goes off, that's not the powder exploding. That is the bullet breaking the sound barrier. And so the bullet hits you before the sound. The people who are a sniper was killed by somebody who's killed by a sniper never hears a shot that kills them. And, surprise, surprise. Anyways, that's it for today. Just had to have a little fun today, enjoy myself debunking a narrative. The big, beautiful bill, when people have heard of it and they hear the individual items in the bill, they overwhelmingly, in most cases, but definitely mostly, except for the one I mentioned, the one item, support items, the items, at least the ones that are listed in the Harris poll, those are the big items, support it in the big, beautiful bill. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments always welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.